Welcome back to the Watch Our Film Podcast, the film review podcast on the Towercast Network by Cinephiles for Cinephiles.
Not good.
What's going on with this guy? That's what I'm saying. This live studio audience is pretty shitty today.
That's because we haven't gotten paid.
Hey, you never heard a joke before?
We haven't gotten paid.
What, Timmy Noble?
Yeah. Haven't you heard of a joke before? Ow!
Calm down, Dice. We're back.
I was like, bitch. Start the podcast.
Good.
How
Better
awful.
cut to the camera.
He didn't. That's the worst part.
He
Just like his mother won't come back to me.
No. He tapped me and immediately did. Ow! Give me no seconds. No seconds.
God damn.
I give your mother no seconds.
Please tell me
That was
it's
2 months ago.
That was 2 months ago, guys.
That was good.
Anyways.
We are back with
Yes, we
our
are.
auteur series, continuing our auteur series on
On Andy's month.
on what?
Andy's?
Andy?
Yeah, Andy's.
Andy?
And
Wes Andy's.
No,
Nuts.
definitely not.
Never heard that.
Paul Thomas Andy's.
He's nuts.
We are back. This is our last month covering an auteur for a bit.
That's
Yeah.
kind of weird. Why would you phrase it? Like, we're in the middle of the month. Why would
Dude,
you be
I'm
like,
so
and it's
excited.
over?
I mean, like, it's our last director. We're
it's our
highlighting.
last couple of weeks.
It's our last.
Hey, have we told them all that we're going to cover Thanksgiving movies this year? Because we're not. So I hope.
I hope nobody told him that.
So sad.
We are back. If you didn't catch last week's episode, we
then
had
you're going to catch these hands.
Jeez,
violent.
Yeah.
Someone take his coffee. Someone take this boy's coffee.
It's the hat. It's the hat.
No. You're like HW when he pours whiskey in his milk. You're just
You're like HW.
come on,
We're
drink
just
it.
on
Some shit. You
He's
know,
just gonna
trying
burn
to
the
light.
house down?
Yeah, he's trying to light this place on fire, man. It's pretty sad. Now, if you didn't catch last week's episode, we did cover Magnolia, which got mixed reviews in this room. We would like to know what you think about it.
Yes.
Yeah, are you a MAGA fan?
Magnolia?
Definitely not. Definitely not.
What, make Africa great again? I love that.
What?
Song. I love
Jeez.
Make
Toto.
America Magnolia.
Who doesn't like Toto?
Wait, it was great before. I'm sorry, Africa.
Oh my god.
I love you, Africa.
Bilal, you ever have Ethiopian food?
Shout out Africa.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Shout out, yo, what does it say? Shout out, man, Gucci. That's a Lil Wayne thing. What are you?
I'm
You're
trying to-
signing. You're
Yeah,
that's
I'm
my
trying
dog
to
right
figure out what you guys
there.
are doing.
Do you actually sign?
Wait, Meg, you know how to sign a little bit?
Sign?
Yeah, like
Like sign language.
Yeah, like I know like bullshit and then fuck you and then like there's like
damn. Like, wait, what
That's
if
my
like
type of
somebody's
signing.
I know, like,
so bad.
What if somebody's like in an
somebody's
urgent
asking like,
situation?
oh, where's the restroom? And you're just like, bullshit. Fuck you.
I didn't taught me how to sign.
Maybe.
And one time when like they blessed me with my name. So it's like Megan. That's how they identify me.
Megan?
They can sign my
Out of my
name,
face.
my full name, or they're like, hey, something that represents you is like, you know, like
Yeah, we're gonna get shot at.
We're gonna get like some type of verb.
I know.
no, because it makes an M and it's like
Man, all the deaf people listening right now
Yeah,
are
we just
pissed
lost half our uteri.
Wait, hold on. Hold on.
Yeah, I know.
No, hold on. Hold on. Bilal, I just want you to really think about what you just
No,
said.
I needed the room to listen because I saw Coster be like, yeah, wait a minute. Wait,
Hold
what
on.
the fuck?
sorry.
All the deaf people listening.
Yeah, are mad at us right
Sorry.
We're sorry.
I can't come back from this.
Oh my gosh. we have to stop.
Introduce the people in the
I
room.
should
so we can-
probably introduce the people in the room before we get sued. We have Mr. Michael Lalaw offering a cinematography perspective.
Oh, that's how you applaud in sign language.
Bring him some milk.
Bring him some milk with whiskey in it.
Finest milk.
The finest milk and whiskey.
With no audience.
That crowd left real quick.
Mr. John Eric Osser offering a acting perspective.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah.
And it cuts off.
Where you going? I just-
Meister.
Mr. Eric C.K. Nunez, our fellow producer on the pod. Wow, you dick.
That is
Damn, you got me.
fuck-
You got me. You got me. It's
Sorry,
okay.
Sorry.
We have Mr. Austin Tyronius Young making sure we sounded good and looking good on the ones and twos over there.
My middle name is not Tyrone.
Tyronius with the bonius. How you doing back there?
He's got that honey packet.
Not anymore. It got stolen.
Last but certainly not least, we have a special returning guest on the pod, but she's returning in a different capacity today. We're very happy to make an announcement on the podcast today. We have I never feel great about announcing people in their full names. So if you don't want me to, I'll just say your first
Dude,
name.
that's fine.
Okay.
Unless
Yeah.
I'm in trouble, then I'm like, oh, damn.
Megan
You can see my legal
Thugathy
name. You can see my legal name.
Finish it.
What?
You can see my Mexican legal name. There's like five freaking names.
Megathy Thugathy Thovar.
Why are you
fregada.
using TH for her last name? It's Tovar,
Like the printing?
Tovar.
Yes.
Tovar.
not Thovar.
Tovar.
This isn't.
What's the matter with you?
This isn't Spain.
Yeah.
We're going to
Megan.
Barcelona.
I deja Tovar.
Absolutely. We have Meg in the spot tonight. Joining us.
Megatron.
Megatron may or may
Damn.
not be
Here
on
to
the
destroy
pod.
the planet. Yeah.
Meg may or may not be on the pod regularly, but she certainly will have a bigger hand on the podcast, helping us out with all of our social media. So it's going to be extremely
Yes.
cool. So
Wish
we're
me luck.
happy to
Thank
have
you.
Meg
I
here.
appreciate the opportunity. Thank you. Thank you.
So let her know that her reels are working,
Yeah.
or her social media bits are playing.
Or
ask
just
where my
continue
wheel's
to
at.
cook the fuck out of everybody in the comments.
That'd be
section.
great. We'd
That would
really
be awesome.
appreciate that.
That'd be awesome.
People like roasting the.
Like
Oh, they
literally
love
throwing them
roasting.
on a grill.
Yeah.
Rotisserie.
Boom, bro.
Hey, I don't think you can do that. People in the 1940s got in trouble for that.
Dude, also,
Jeez.
we get
What
canceled
what
for everything.
episode is this? The fucking bag on every demographic episode? What the
Yeah,
hell
take
are we
that,
doing?
China.
Peace and love. Yeah.
That's what 3 hours in 1911 does to you.
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding.
18, what was it? 1890s and then...
Yeah, all the way
Can we
from
stop reading
1898.
demographics, please?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. I am your humble film servant, Carlos M. de la Torre, offering a writing directing perspective.
Ding, ding, ding,
We-
ding, 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 ding.
Today's topic, racism.
Today's topic, racism, apparently. No, we're here to continue talking about the great Paul Thomas Anderson. In anticipation...
Bobby.
in anticipation of his newest film, One Battle After Another, which has some history in El Paso. It's shot
Spielberg
in
just
El
said.
Paso. What?
Spielberg just said movie of the year.
Spielberg just said a movie of the year,
Oh,
apparently.
He said
Yeah.
that it's going to be
High
like
praise.
Doctor Strange love.
That's pretty. That's high
Not
praise.
Doctor
Wow.
Strange for those who
Not
get
Doctor
confused.
Strange, but Doctor Strange Love.
Not to be mixed with Doctor Strange love.
That's high praise. That's definitely high praise. If you're comparing anything to Kubrick, pretty high praise.
I'm in the mood for some strange love.
That's
You
great.
still got that honey packet, Austin?
No, it got stolen from me. I'm telling you.
Wow. But yeah, we're here
Wow.
to talk about
It was
Paul
supposed to be
Thomas
for me.
Anderson's 2007 epic.
Space Odyssey.
No. There Will Be Blood.
Yes. Back to
He's
something
talking about
good.
There Will Be Blood.
Back to something good.
With Danny Day.
Starring the great Danny Day, Daniel Day-Lewis, Paul Dano, and a pretty cool, interesting, unique cast the rest of the way through. But Texas history. This is the last time Paul shot in Texas was in this film. He shot in Marfa, Texas, primarily, and just a
Wow.
stone's throw away from El Paso. So pretty exciting
How
stuff.
far can you throw a stone?
I know.
It's
He's got
not
a
that
fucking
far.
cannon.
It's
Are
like
you
three,
Uncle
what,
Rico
3, 4
or
hours.
You can barely throw a rock across a field, let alone a city.
A couple cities.
That was
Geographically.
Why'd you sip that so aggressively?
Because if I have a milkshake,
I love that part.
it's so great. There Will Be Blood. What
Yeah.
I deem to be
A film.
Paul Thomas Anderson's staple film. I think this is his Goodfellas. I think this is his
Oh.
Pulp Fiction. I think this is his.
This is his, like, There Will Be Blood.
I think so.
You don't think
Very
Boogie
much.
Nights got him there?
What's that?
You don't think Boogie Nights got him there?
I think Boogie Nights got him there the same way, Mean Streets got, or Raging Bull got Scorsese there, but Goodfellas, I think this is his, like, masterpiece. I
Maybe
really
that
like.
we've like started covering a couple of PTA films. Like we talk about like the class metaphor and like what's a first week like PTA film and then what's like the
Sure.
end. Obviously, I think like Magnolia sits like further towards the end. There's
Absolutely.
too much to talk about.
No. No.
What?
See, that's your opinion, because that's not
Okay.
I'm saying.
No, I was gonna say. I feel like There Will Be Blood is very much a Would you consider it a first week? I would put
Yeah.
it maybe in the middle.
I think it's an introduction to PTA. I think if you try to introduce him like with Boogie Nights or something like that, I mean you'll probably get splits, but I think There Will Be Blood is like, I guess another way to determine it too is like if you could only show one film of this director, for me I think it'd be There Will Be Blood.
Licorice Pizza.
You show Licorice Pizza.
Boogie Nights. What?
You'd show Boogie Nights.
I would show Boogie Nights in a heartbeat. That shit's like it's got sex, drugs, rock and roll.
It's a little too aggressive for.
Yeah,
That's what
like,
I'm saying.
No, but I don't feel like this one has so much voice to it,
Yeah,
and I feel like
So much
when I
agency.
watched, oh man, like I rewatched Licorice Pizza recently, and even the callback at the end, like them running and
It's
all that, was
beautiful.
it was
Gorgeous.
such a big scene,
Gorgeous choice.
and that's. Again, that kind of goes into his sensibilities as a writer.
Yeah.
I feel like has a lot more to say. It's very palatable.
Yeah.
If you get past the whole age thing, but
We were having Eller and I. Shout out to Eller Coltrane. I told him we were going to talk about this.
Woo!
We were having the conversation about how we both love Licorice Pizza, and how like people. He's like, I got the same thing, man. The whole flack about the age thing, but who gives a shit? Like it's so wholesome. It's such a wholesome film.
Yeah.
But it is a really special piece, man. And it's like PTA basically not giving a fuck and telling a film, like telling an unorthodox love story set in the world he knows, which is the Valley. And I think it's got so much to say. I think it's also got a lot to say on like setting up a relation, because naturally double standards work the same, and I also don't know if we're going to cover it on the podcast, so I'm going to talk about it at a limit. But I do think like the back and forth in terms of like double standards, like if the roles were reversed, sure enough, people would give so much more flack about the older guy, younger girl. But in this scenario, like it's barely acceptable to a point where you can actually go with them here.
real quick, just so that way, if we do talk about it, like we can kind of get past it really quick. The best argument I've heard is people who say like the reason the like rules and laws
Yeah.
of like who can be in a relationship exist
Right.
is because if you're putting a younger person who's impressionable and easily like manipulated next to somebody who's older and is more capable of kind of
Sure.
like lying to them or promising things that they don't understand yet, then that's when it's bad. And that's why we try to like put barriers to prevent those kind of relationships.
But
in
Licorice
this
Pizza,
case,
it's about two people trying to find themselves
in
in
this
different
case,
capacities.
he's the one that, as a younger person, is able to manipulate her, who's older. Like
Sure.
there's this weird kind of like he's not in any way, shape, or form being taken advantage of because you
Right.
can't. Like he's playing a more mature role, and
Yeah.
she wishes that she had that in her own life.
On the surface,
Yeah,
surface,
I
because he's a
mean-
kid who thinks he knows too much where he really doesn't. And that's
Yeah.
why I say it's a
There's a
film
lot
about
under.
two people trying to find themselves in this crazy kind of world, and then happen to find love through that process. I think,
Yeah.
I mean, Licorice Pizza for
It
me
just, to
has so
me,
many layers.
Yeah.
Speaking of good movies, John Eric, I don't want to take your segment, but have you guys seen anything good lately?
Oh man.
Can I go first?
No, yeah, I haven't.
Sure.
I haven't.
Okay,
Same.
that's great. Next question.
That's where you use the ba-dum.
Have you watched anything?
Yeah. It was so comedic because you pressed it twice. Yeah, I
Press your mom twice.
poor mom. She only got pressed
Oh, I
twice.
know.
Like,
Oh,
that's
your
kinda-
mom's a nice lady.
She's a
I'm
nice
sorry.
lady.
You actually know.
She makes me mom spaghetti.
Anyways, Castro,
Yeah.
we did see like I was like homesick with like a cold on Friday.
Get
So
to
you're
it.
the one that got me sick.
I guess so. Ooh, and we saw all the Toy Stories
Oh,
just
yeah, yeah. We're
like
talking about
Did you
that.
cry?
in the blip. Yeah,
Did
that
you
was
hold
pretty
Cooper
heavy.
really hard?
It's three
Yeah,
three
three
gets
over.
you.
Three
Three
is like-
threes.
That one just
That's
grabs
right.
your heart. and
I
just
will
fucking
say four is equally as emotionally manipulative at the end,
when
but
they
it's pretty powerful ending. I think. I think so.
On the fourth
one?
Yeah.
Wait,
Are you
So
excited
here-
to see the fifth?
I'm not excited, but I'm accepting it. Like I'm like it's gonna come out whether I like it or not. I might as well. I'm not gonna Tarantino it and be like, nope, I stopped at 3
I
and
am.
that's wherever.
Wait, okay,
Imagine-
no, here's a more
3
serious
was a perfect
question.
ending for me.
Is 2 still your favorite after rewatching?
Absolutely. 2, I think, has the most production value in any of the Toy Story films, and it's a much bigger adventure. This film, Two for me, I fucking love to death.
I
Three,
just like
three was
Chick
pretty
Man.
wild because it was like a heartfelt story. And
It's an
there was, like, a
emotional.
prison break.
It's an emotional
With the
adventure.
original.
How many
But come on.
chicken men are in it?
No, but let's face it.
Tweak.
Three is for adults.
Yeah, it
Two is for the kids with
All right,
adventure
yeah.
inside. Like two is like
I
you're
used to have
going
that
running
toy.
through a fucking airport.
And what's
You're in
the
a
first one
toy
for?
store.
Yeah.
Like
That
there's
is true.
so much. It's. I think two is amazing. Plus you get a Woody backstory, which is fucking awesome. Like you get Woody's roundup, and two to me is like
I like the
Perfect.
Jesse gets abandoned. song.
yeah. You get that too, which is
Wait,
super
can I
sad.
say something?
Sure.
You know, it's controversial, but the third one reminds me of the Holocaust. I don't know why.
Whoa.
Oh,
But if you think
Elaborate,
about it, they're
please.
trying to like, okay, the dictatorship is Lotso, so it's like, okay, they're trying to get away, and they're trying to get burned. Like I was just like, yeah, that's
That's interesting.
The third
I-
one, I really don't like to watch it.
Yeah.
It's just like
It's
okay,
heavy.
one
It's
time
super
and I was
heavy.
like,
Yeah.
this is
Super heavy. But yeah, there's, I mean, naturally a lot of
Yeah, no.
alluding to prison and stuff like prisons, like a
It's
dictatorship. Yeah, I
really
can see
dark.
that.
Oh, real quick minor side note. You've seen the video where the guy is showing the movie to his wife for the first time, but he edits the film where the credits roll right
They
at
just
the like.
fade it out.
Yeah,
He fades it out.
and then she's like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, I remember that. No,
else?
but so anyways, I screened that with the wife, and I'd been wanting to see Spike Lee's new film, Highest to Lowest, for the
Highest to
longest
Lowest.
time. So I finally got to see that.
Is it better than the OG?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think Kurosawa's version is a masterpiece, man. It's so intense and so kind of ahead of its time, but it's also alluding to like 1940s hard-boiled noirs that packaged in this moral dramatic thing of like, would you pay the ransom or not? So it's packaged very beautifully, but nonetheless, I was having a conversation about this film with somebody else, with Chuck, about how this, even when Spike Lee films fall flat, they're still far more interesting than a lot of shit that's out there right now. And I think Denzel killed it in this one. Like
Really?
Denzel absolutely
I was
killed
scared
it.
about that.
The only complaint I have is about the first act. I think the second act and on, it picks up. It does really well. Tells a compelling story, modernizes what Kurosawa was trying to say in a really cool way. And it's if you're a hip hop head, it's set in the hip hop industry and shit like that. So, or in the music industry in general, but it's very hip hop, very Spike Lee.
Does it take place in present time or
Present
90s?
time New York, present
Okay.
time New York, like in the Bronx. So it takes place around the Yankee Stadium, and
sick as fuck.
subway systems and trains. Obviously, just like Kurosawa's.
Do they have
original.
do they have a scene in a bodega or deli?
They actually do, yeah.
Fuck
they very
yeah.
much do. So, I'd still recommend to go watch it. It's on Apple TV Plus, and I think it's still worth the watch. I think Spike Lee is still saying some good shit, and I was a big advocate for Da 5 Bloods. I fucking love that film. I think that film is
You did
incredible.
preach that.
So I think Spike Lee's still saying some shit. So go watch it. I think it's worth a watch if you can get past the first act. Let me know what you guys think if you've seen it. My Sandra and I were talking about how the first act it feels like a really good Tyler Perry movie.
Whoa.
Which is not saying much, but it you get past the first act and get up past that setup. It's saying some good shit. So Highest to Lowest. That's the last thing I saw.
Wow.
You guys? What about you guys?
I saw Air again.
Air.
That one was. It's a fun film. It's like
Yeah.
it's one of those that you watch and you're like, yo, it's like All right, this is probably gonna be a hot take, but
It better be.
I feel like Air and I, Tanya have the same feeling.
Sure,
oh god,
sure,
that's
sure.
a mid take.
Where like they're both
A
like
lot less intense, Air, but
for sure. But like,
That's just a take.
I would believe it
That's
if it was like
an
the same
opinion.
director or something.
I like the fact that was Ben Affleck's kind of like comeback in the sense of directing. I think his comeback in the sense of acting was the basketball film,
where he
The
plays,
Way
like,
Back, I
coach.
think, or something like
Yeah,
that. That performance is fucking amazing. But in terms of directing, I like that he came back with Air. I think Air was a good exercise for him to direct again. And I like Ben Affleck as a director. I think he's okay. But
But as
Air.
an actor, a lot of people hate him on his acting. I love his acting.
I mean,
he's
he
good.
barely
I think
acted in Air.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
That was a Matt Damon.
I mean,
performative thing. They think Matt Damon killed it.
but that Goodwill Hunting scene where he's like, "Bro, you need to do this for me. Do
Uh-huh.
it for you. Do it for me." I mean, that the
best
best
part.
fucking good,
dude,
man.
that's
This guy's
that
fucking
scene.
good.
Yeah, it's incredible. But yeah, I like her. It's fun.
not bad.
It's definitely good. Viola Davis too, man, as Michael Jordan's
Yes.
mom. She's terrific.
She's a
Yeah.
good actress.
Yeah.
You watch any bangers?
Right, recently? It's funny because on
K-pop
TikTok, I've been
Demon
getting
Hunter.
Pride and Prejudice.
Oh, okay. With
So I was
Keira Knightley
doing a
or
rerun.
Oh wow, back in the day, yeah.
Yeah, because it recently had an anniversary, and they were showing it in the Alamo and Cinemark, and
yeah.
the assistant manager that I used to work with, she wanted to take me, and we couldn't go.
Mm.
So I went to her house to watch it, and you watched it with me. So I was just like, okay.
You watched Pride and Prejudice and you didn't call this a banger? You didn't want to show that off on the pod?
Oh no, it's because like I came off of a shift, so like I felt terrible because we went over to like her assistant manager's house at the time, and then like I just passed out. And then when I woke up, I felt awful. I'm like, I'm sorry that I just
It's
like
okay.
basically snoozed it
You
at
guys
moving
were-
I was
it.
watching it again, but with my mom, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, this is so good." And
It's so dramatic.
I will admit, I don't like romance, but it's like they're not all lovey-dovey. They're like against each other. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
It's so dramatic. It's so dramatic.
I was trying to say to Meg, like, if you like that, you should watch Age of Innocence.
Absolutely.
Because
Okay.
Age of Innocence is a less romantic.
I mean, in a traditional sense, sure, but I think
Less
it's more
optimistic?
romantic.
Oh, okay.
I think it's more romantic, but it's certainly less dramatic, I guess. Maybe
Yeah.
not. I mean, it's the same author.
No, it's because
Edith Wharton wrote
Really?
both novels, the novels.
Okay, they're actually rumoring, or I don't know if it's confirmed, that they're gonna do another one.
Pride and Prejudice.
I think they're doing a reboot of it.
Oh man,
I'm not
maybe.
sure. I'm kinda
maybe.
scared.
Edith Wharton novels are kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
like, I don't know, like stuff you don't add sequels to, but maybe a reboot.
no, they might like re-release it.
Maybe, yeah, I could buy that. Austin, you said you rewatched something recently.
I watched There Will Be Blood.
You did watch several. No, but you rewatched something. What was it? Something fun that you were like, I rewatched.
I watched
this.
Macamee.
Oh, I rewatched War Dogs.
Ward. No. Dumb Money.
Oh, I also
Oh,
rewatched
Dumb
that
Money.
recently too.
Dumb Money, which
doesn't it-
stars Paul
with-
Dano.
Yeah,
Paul
Paul
Dano.
Dano, yeah.
Paul Dano. That one impressed me, dude. Dumb
Yeah.
Money impressed me in a way that I didn't think was gonna get me.
Even Rogan in that one's pretty
Yeah.
good.
Oh yeah, he plays a fucking billionaire. or
Is
whatever.
that the
Dogs,
one about the GameStop one?
Yeah.
The-
Yeah. Yeah, that movie impressed me. I didn't think I was gonna like that thing, and it was like Austin. You've been telling me to like
Yeah.
check it out, and I watched it. and I was like, yeah, it's pretty good.
Damn, so you were on a movie run. You got War Dogs, you got Dumb Money, and There Will Be Blood. You're
'cause
living
sometimes,
life.
like-
There's also
I'll
a
just-
pattern there, dude. Like these are all shitty ass people that you're watching.
Maybe I'm a shitty
Shitty-ass
ass
people
person.
make
I
the best
mean, you
movies.
seem to be liking this whole thing. These shitty ass people, like Jonah Hill's character in War Dogs.
Dude,
and-
where he pulls out the gun in the trunk.
Where you going?
yeah, it's great.
It's because Kasha
Fuck
put
yeah.
it in my head.
What?
Because one time I came with my hair all slicked back. He's like, "You look like Jonah."
You do, bro.
Ah, yeah.
That's a good thing.
Damn, high key. Okay.
I'm gonna show up at the Uzi one day and be like, "Where you guys going?"
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Thought I looked like Jonah. What's up? Yeah. So speaking of Paul Dano, speaking of Age of Innocence and Daniel Day-Lewis, both of these star and There Will Be Blood. And man, yeah, I think this thing's got a ton to say. I think the first time I screened it was during the pandemic. And
Really?
then we recently got to see a 35 millimeter print at the
Oh,
Plaza
God.
Theater, which is a
Jealous.
gorgeous print.
Yeah, like once it started and you could see the flickering
Yeah.
of it all and everything. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
it
it's
was
usually what happens with film.
next week.
No, it's important to talk about because like that's kind of the hype right now behind one battle after another. The fact that Paul shot it in VistaVision, is screening it in VistaVision, and only selected like 3 or 4 theaters to do it in VistaVision.
Carlos, for the people in the room who don't know what VistaVision is, can you please tell us what that is?
So-
Poor man's IMAX.
It's poor man's IMAX, essentially. Like this was a film format that stopped being used in the '60s, specifically 1961, with a John Wayne film called One-Eyed Jack. And
One-Eyed Jack.
this format was basically in an attempt to flip a 35 millimeter frame and kind of make it almost like horizontal to just broaden
Oh, wow.
it's poor. That's why they call it poor man's
Yeah,
IMAX.
yeah.
At that time, the bigger film format was 70 millimeter film, which is just 35 millimeter film doubled, right? So you do get that. So with 35 millimeter film and VistaVision, they flip the magazine so that you get this basically in like a quarter. So you get this bigger, taller frame. And it makes for what we're used to in IMAX in terms of just a bigger frame where you see a bigger screen and you can shoot in that format. So VistaVision, again, stopped being used in the 60s.
1961 with the film One-Eyed Jack.
You don't say. You don't fucking say.
And who directed that movie?
Oh, you know him.
Was it John...
John Wayne?
Cassavetes?
No, not John Cassavetes.
John Cassavetes.
Definitely not John Cassavetes.
John Wayne. John Ford.
David Lynch played him in Spielberg's film. Gosh, how many?
John Waters.
John Ford.
John Ford. Yeah.
I think John Ford directed that. Anyways, yeah. So VistaVision will stop being used. The Brutalist and PTA said, "Fuck it, we're doing it," and basically brought it back to life. The Brutalist only shot, I think, certain things in VistaVision, but the One Battle After Another is the first film since the 60s to be shot in VistaVision. So it's special because not only was it shot in that film format, it's being shown in that film format across theaters all over the world right now.
Yeah.
And on top of that, they're also encouraging people to go watch it in film 70 millimeter and digital 70 millimeter and IMAX. So this film, make no mistake, One Battle After Another is made for the movie theater.
You also did it for Begonia, which comes out
Oh,
this
okay.
year.
Oh, yeah.
For
the new
like
one.
full
The new one.
VistaVision?
Yeah.
Wow.
Damn, so
And
VistaVision is
then
making a comeback.
Inarritu's doing it for his next film that's going to have Tom Cruise.
Oh, cool. Iñárritu?
Yeah, M. Night's doing it for Remain next year.
There
and
you go.
Greta is
So
going to do it
it's
for,
coming back.
Greta's
It's-
going to do it for the
fuck yeah.
Narnia film.
For the Narnia film. That's great. That's a great film format for the Narnia film. Good for Greta. I applaud that. But again, what the shooting on film and showing the film on film is making a big comeback in a really special way, and it's almost like an event. Again, it's encouraging people to go back to the movie theaters. So to be able to screen There Will Be Blood on 35 millimeter, it's kind of the best we get in El Paso. We don't have 70 millimeter projectors here, so 35. Anytime there's a 35 millimeter screening, I don't care if it's like of The Room. Like, I'll go watch film in a movie theater because it's such a rare occasion now. You know?
I did not hit her.
I
did
did not hit
not.
her. I did not. Oh,
Hi, Mark.
Oh, hi.
Yeah. So genuinely, just if you can screen a film on film, I'm pretty sure Alamo will bring a 35 millimeter print of One Battle. I'm pretty sure. The other thing to note is Paul Thomas Anderson stopped using 2391 aspect ratio with this film. After that, he started doing 1851 until Licorice Pizza. Then he said, "I'm coming back to the widescreen aspect ratio." So
that widescreen 90s PTA is like fucking iconic. The Magnolia,
Beautiful.
Boogie Nights feel
beautiful.
but
yeah.
so this was the last movie that he had it from.
This was the last one he did it until Licorice Pizza. Everything after this was 1851 aspect ratio.
Okay.
So PTA was, he was I think like in an interesting peak of like this like really fertile ground of filmy vibes. You know what I mean? Like these
Yeah.
filmy vibes, but also like we were talking about earlier, like There Will Be Blood has a voice that is unmatched. This is where I think PTA said, "I'm fucking here." Like this is I'm here and I'm staying, and everything I make after this is me. Is very much me. There's so much of an original voice and so much of a of an angry
You know what it feels like, this movie? It feels like everything before this movie was PTA getting very electric.
Yeah.
In a sense, almost he does it like expertly,
Mm-hmm.
but in a sense, almost to compensate because he feels like he needs to entertain. Mm-hmm. And There Will Be Blood is the movie that came around that he was like, "This is a story I want to tell my own way, my own pace. I don't give a fuck. I'm just gonna
Absolutely.
do it."
And
that
he
one
took a
comes out
risk. He took a risk with There Will Be Blood. A neo-Western set in the middle of the desert. And oddly enough, it's his highest grossing film to date.
Fuck yeah.
It's none of his other films have made more money, and it only made like 76 mil. So on top of that, you also have One Battle After Another, his biggest, almost like star-studded thing. So I'm curious to see if One Battle is going to knock this out of the water.
I don't know.
Warner Brothers spent a shitload of money, man. They better get their money back. Like
Dude.
175.
175 for One Battle After Another. So this thing's got to sell some tickets, and they've been like. I don't know if you guys have seen online, but they've been like promoting the hell out of it.
Yeah.
All the streets of LA are covered in billboards.
I mean,
and-
even the fact that like they had a Fortnite collab,
Yeah,
but it wasn't even
exactly.
That
Well,
is
they're
true.
going to make their money back alone
Yeah.
on the Fortnite.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
probably. Yeah, Warner's is doing something. But anyways, I think we should get into ratings for There Will Be Blood, and we should start dissecting this incredible picture.
Well, CK,
CK,
it's your
you
month,
pick your-
so you get to decide who goes first.
your
Come
dog.
on, pick it and lick it. Now,
Well-
where we going?
He looked at Meg like
What?
he said, like
I was trying to
I'm
find fucking Austin over there because I'm thinking about Jonah Hill over here, but
Nah, I won't be able to give a rating. Sorry, bud.
honestly, Carlos, I know that you were enjoying the movie. So what's your rating?
I was,
All right,
man.
Carlos,
I
you've
really
been picked. Now you get licked. What's going on?
open your mouth.
Ew.
Ling, open your mouth. I wanted to be disappointed. I was like expecting to be like, nah,
Second
this
watch.
is my third or fourth screening. Like it's gonna Walter Mitty itself, and it didn't, man. This is a powerhouse of a film. I
It just
think.
grows with time.
Oh, I watched Walter Mitty recently.
Uh-huh.
I forgot to mention that.
And then
Okay.
That's great.
this is fine.
Pretty good.
Sean Penn's in that, and Sean Penn was in Licorice Pizza
Didn't he direct it?
and One Battle. No, he didn't direct. Ben Stiller directed Walter Mitty.
Oh, I actually did
I'm-
recently watch Fast Times at Ridgemont High. You said Champagne and that, like, remember?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's how I remember.
I saw fucking what's the one that Rick did?
Rick Moranis?
No, I'll link later.
Later?
Oh, the
With
link.
Sean Penn?
Fucking, no, not Sean Penn. The
I
Dazed and
Before?
Confused. Dazed and Confused. I saw that one.
Oh, I
recently.
love
okay.
Dazed and Confused so much.
All right, sorry.
Back to
Anyways,
ratings.
No, but yeah, I think like with There Will Be Blood, it became a thing of like, it stands the test of time. It's very universal, universal topics and themes. I mean, but it's packaged in such an original way. I mean, this film's about greed and pushing the frontier of America in a very interesting way. But it's also like exploring how much of your values you're willing to give up to get greedy. And almost to get revenge on your upbringing, to get revenge on the trauma that you had, and get revenge on what your father did or didn't do, and the poor family life you had, and just there's so much subtext to a character like Daniel Plainview that is incredible, and that I think is incredible character work too, because there's no surprise, it's Daniel Day-Lewis, but it's Daniel Day-Lewis taking 3 years to develop a character and then finally fucking just kill it.
What would you give it?
So I think, man, this rate's high for me. This, despite the fact that it's not like my favorite PTA film, I think I'm at like a 9.5 for something like this.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I think There Will Be Blood. It's up there.
What about you, John Eric?
Me, I think I'm around 9.5 as well. I'll probably
Yeah.
go. I'm trying to think because I like
Such
the
an
law
actor
when he
piece.
tells me like
It's a
what is it
fucking
missing to get a
actor's
10.
movie, yeah.
But I'll probably go 9.4. I just obviously Daniel Day-Lewis, his character's so complex, man. There's so many layers about his act. Like obviously everybody wants to play the cool, capitalist guy that just striving, not looking anywhere. Fuck. What the fuck was that?
No, I know what you mean. Like strutting through the room
Yeah.
to make moves on bettering.
Yeah, like,
You
You
own
know,
every space that you come into.
Yeah.
Like that's your fucking bar. That's your house.
Everybody wants to be Jordan Belfort.
But like it's almost
Exactly.
like through the screen, you could smell this guy. You could
Yeah,
smell
dude,
his
I mean-
sweat
Yeah.
and his
Talk about
vigor and
getting immersed into his character. You said it took 3 years. I mean, all the way from his posture to his voice. Like,
yeah.
his voice is very unique, man. Like the way he talks,
For sure.
he's experienced so much in his life that
Yeah.
just the acting alone, like the characters alone, and the cinematography really stands out.
Yeah.
I really, really love how obviously some of the long takes and those night
Silhouette.
shots, dude, with the fire in the background. Wow, dude, it's beautiful, beautiful. So I'll give it a 9.4.
I gotta ask you, Mike. I like when we go into the cinematography aspect. I need to know what stock they used because like having that blue glow on the edge too was fucking.
Well, we're not there yet, pal. So
Yeah, we're not there.
And
so
fun
the
fact,
next person,
I would have asked you. I don't know.
I appreciate you thinking of me.
I can I
What
can
stock?
comment on that. It's not, I don't know about the specific stock. What I do know is that
Kodak.
PTA used a different camera for certain shots, and it was like a vintage 1920s camera
Kodak Vision
with
2.
the what?
Kodak Vision 2.
He used a specific
Fuck yeah.
lens that only fit on the specific camera from like the 1920s, and it's the shots that he used are, if you look at the edges, they change color on the edges.
Yeah,
And that's the unique thing
Yeah.
about the stock
Yeah.
in this particular film camera.
that adds so much character to the film
Yeah.
in general. It's phenomenal. Magic Mike,
Your score.
yo, Raiden.
you got to get naked to give it though. He called you
Yeah.
Magic Mike.
Magical Mike.
It's a 10.
Whoa.
It's a dime. It deserves
Wow.
every bit of its seat on the pantheon of cinema.
Sure.
I mean, we got to watch it in we got to watch it in theaters, and I feel like that was an incredible experience.
Absolutely.
But I feel like when you revisit the film again, kind of like you, I would like to see like maybe some of like the shine.
The spectacle was like giving us the 10, but
the
now,
shine was in my face. So, you know, it's kind of like, oh, that's probably why I rated it so high. But I've lived with it for a while, and then rewatching it, and there's something to be said about any film that's trying to like tackle that's like an epic that goes through the course of somebody's life, and in this case, you know, the entire life of like his son going from being just like conceived to, you know, being this man who is going to go off and have his own empire.
Sure.
And staying with Daniel Day-Lewis's character, Daniel, like it's incredible. And I feel like it's wrapped up so well. And what I've noticed with all PTA's films, the pacing is incredible.
It's phenomenal. 2 hour 40 film, 2 hour 38.
But for covering so much life and so many years in this package, and it doesn't feel long at all. It doesn't drag at all. And then plus,
some friends feel the first act drags a touch.
No, but at least for me,
at
least for me, I feel like it didn't drag at all, and it's amazing that it's able to take emotional tensions you felt from the beginning, and then just bring it on back to the front, and that was incredible. Like, I mean, anytime they had any kind of a callback, like when they start talking about like, oh, you're not my son, you're just like a bastard in a basket.
You're lower than a bastard.
Yeah. Or like, you know, when he's talking to Paul Dano and he's like, okay, now I need you to say this kind of thing. But it's always this pulling it back out.
Yeah.
And I feel like the film is a masterclass in that. It's a masterclass in, like, again, cinematography. It's a masterclass in acting. And because of that, like, you know, I can't see anything that I would say needs to be here to rate it higher. It deserves a 10.
Super strong film, specifically and certainly in American cinema, man. Like, American films were not doing this.
Yeah.
And oddly enough, too, like, the last thing I'll point out before passing it back over to CK, this film was shot not only the exact year as No Country for Old Men, but the exact location. They were neighboring productions.
Really?
Yeah, they visit each other.
They would visit each other on sets. Yeah. So much so that some of the explosions on this film, they created like this, you know, in the airwaves, it created this smoke and smog that it delayed No Country's production for like a day because they couldn't fucking shoot. Like, they were that close to each other. And they both ended up being Academy Award nominees that year. So like 2 films shot in Texas, shot in Marfa.
Marfa was just pumping
shit out, you know, in a really special way. And more than likely, at least like the people who flew, they had to fly through El Paso to get there.
Yeah.
They had to fly into El Paso. And I know Paul did. I know for a fact Paul flew into El Paso to go to Marfa, and that's when his El Paso curiosity started. I know this for a fact.
Wow.
So
Hear from the horse's mouth.
I did, straight from the horse's mouth.
Wow.
So
that's not even a lie.
No. So
We'll
yeah,
talk
I mean,
about that more later.
Yeah. We'll, you guys got something special coming up.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
But yeah, CK rating.
Well, wait, no, he gets to choose.
Yeah, I was gonna say let's
Oh,
go.
you're right.
Austin.
So what technically we have Meg because
Yeah.
he can't give a rating.
The fuck?
Yeah, you know what? Yeah.
Yeah, I missed like the entire second act of the film.
Yeah,
I mean,
Meg.
do you want to give a rating based on what
I
you
don't think
saw?
it'd be fair.
Now let's do Meg.
Meg, if that's your real name.
Oh my gosh, I go by Meg, I go by Megan, I go by Megatron.
Megathy.
Yeah.
I think Megathy's my favorite so far.
Megathy.
Okay.
Meganphetamine.
Addicting.
Megalopolis.
I like the movie. What's so funny to me is like I abandoned my son because he's
It's
now
funny to you?
disabled.
How is that funny?
No, but hold on. He like, hey, hold on. It's funny to me because he's like, oh, I'm sorry, come back, and it's like, I don't want you no more again. It's like, okay.
Wait here.
I have a
wrong
question
with
for
you?
you, Meg. Like, I'm very curious to obviously hear your rating, but is this film just like a buttload of testosterone for a woman
No,
to watch?
actually, I liked it.
Yeah?
Because I'm not like romance, and I'm just
Well,
like,
I know.
I'm yo soy bien chismosa, so I'm like,
Right.
why is this man acting like
Sure,
that? You know,
sure,
like,
sure.
what the heck? So it's like power that he was like he grew his company. And
I
all
mean,
the
there's quite
drama.
literally one female character in this. The daughter, the girl.
Yeah, the girl
My
that
old
married.
sweet Mary.
My sweet Mary. That's the only female character in this fucking
Yeah.
film, dude.
It's like a lot of men, but I'm like, okay, so why is he like that?
That
Is
might
it
be
like-
the problem. That's an interesting exploration. Now that I think about it, like maybe why this character in this world is the way it is, the lack of women.
No, but I mean,
No, genuinely, think about this.
When you see the women there, kind of like earlier, when they need to make business decisions, they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry, like mother, leave the room and take
Yeah.
the daughters."
Yeah.
And
He sees them as
everybody,
an accessory. Like it's like okay,
more
you
than
guys
an
back,
accessory,
but you're like,
they have a place, but I mean, the place is very close to like where the dog sleeps. I mean, it's just
Right.
this kind of like, if you're a woman in society, you're just meant to be seen and not heard.
But think about where that's coming from. That's my point. Where if it's missing because he even said when he's asked about the mother of his child, he's like, I don't want to talk about these things, and he asks about his own mom when he's talking to the brother.
Yeah.
He asks about his own mom.
For a second, I thought he killed like his wife or something.
Yeah?
The way you're saying like he didn't want to talk about it, but nobody
No,
thought he
I
just
felt like
adopted
that's
the
what
kid.
broke him. I felt like that's what broke him as a human being, like losing maybe the love of his life.
Okay.
I'm kind of explaining that like it was just too sad to even talk about because when he talks about his mother, he's like, what did mother do or what did mother say when I left? Like that's the only person he cared about. He didn't care about his dad. His dad left him and shit, So
Yeah.
I think a lot of this comes from mommy issues, and we've talked about this. PTA's got some mommy issues across the board. That man's got some mommy
For
issues.
sure.
So
I feel like this was a projection of his daddy issues, low key.
yeah, for sure.
When it comes down to what?
or both.
Or both.
he
Yeah,
just
I
has
think
fucked
both.
up parents, honestly.
I
He
mean,
has
look
fucked
at
up
look
parents.
at Magnolia and those daddy
Oh, that one for
issues.
sure.
Look at
The leaks.
the mommy issues in Boogie Nights. We talked about the mommy and daddy issues in Boogie Nights. I think it's both. And his dad was like a famous dude, man. Like his dad was the great Goulardi. I don't know if you guys know this about PTA's dad, but PTA's dad was a popular radio and television host.
Really,
Ernie Anderson.
Yeah, Ernie
really?
Anderson.
PTA's dad was an announcer.
Well, I wondered where a lot of this came from because you could have beef with your parents no matter where they stand in society. But Paul Thomas Anderson, his dad was a very popular TV radio announcer, specifically presented horror films.
Oh,
and
cool.
he was the great Goulardi. In fact, PTA's production company is called Goulardi Films.
Goulardi.
Really?
It's a tribute to his dad and stuff like that. But
That's
I just wonder where a lot of that came from. How that relationship was explored. He's never publicly admitted that it's about his dad or his mom or anything, but he certainly explores those topics and those themes of relationships with dads and moms and the lack thereof. So I think There Will Be Blood has that in spades. But
So,
Megathy.
With that being said, what are your thoughts on the daddy issue movie of the year?
And
Did you enjoy it?
And
A
you gotta,
9.5. I'll say that.
9.5.
It's really good because it's like the only woman we see is the kid getting married. And look how he's
Sure.
about to be. He's like, hey, I'm living with my wife.
Right.
And being supportive. But him,
Sure.
he's just psychologically done. He doesn't have a support system
Right.
with him. So he's like, I don't trust no one. And I always see the bad side of people.
Who's
Now-
was it your first time watching it, Meg?
Yeah.
Was
actually
it anybody else's or everybody had kind of seen it before?
the first time the whole way through.
Okay.
No,
So
it's my
you'd
first
seen
time
it
watching
before.
it.
Yeah. This is my third or fourth time watching it.
Okay. So Meg, you're like, this is brand
Yeah, it's
spanking
good
new to
because
you.
it's also if, okay, yeah, I don't want to be like that. But if a woman was with his child, he wouldn't have his disability.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's. I think that's the
Literally,
interesting.
if you think
yeah.
about that, mom would be like, come here. Why are
Yeah,
you over
yeah.
there? Hey, over here.
I
And
think
the
it
guy was
also-
like, I'm doing my business. You
Yeah.
stay away. Please don't
Well,
distract me.
that's what I like about Daniel's character is that I think he carries so much guilt with him,
Yeah.
and it turns into anger, and I think it's like guilt misplaced or displaced, and that guilt and trauma turns into just anger and competitive anger, and his his whole motivation in life is I want to make so much money that I can just get away from people because most of them are fucking idiots and I don't like anybody.
Yeah.
And the people he does like or does start to trust, like his son, who he loves and very much considered him his partner,
He throws him away.
He throws him away. He can't almost like a rig that doesn't work. Like, I can fix this or I can get something better, so let's toss that one. And, his brother comes into play. He starts trusting him, opening up to him. And then, again, just it's really, I think it's really cool exploration to
You also
anger.
see in the brother character that there is a want in Daniel to have family.
Yes,
like, he's
yes.
I think he feels like, oh, man, when I talk to people, it's always a deal, and I always have to say things the right way.
Yeah.
And, like, when I'm out on the road and I'm trying to get things done, like, I don't want people who are just going to be greedy and take my money.
Yeah.
Like, so losing his son, you can see in those moments how painful it was because he felt like he had family.
That's where he starts hating God.
Yeah.
That's where he starts hating God. Like, you guys want me to believe in a God. And I probably did it for a point, but then he lost his hearing. Doesn't Jesus heal? Doesn't the church heal? Aren't you a healer? And I think that's where he starts hating God. When the brother thing happens, I think that's when he starts hating humanity.
Yeah.
Or at least, like, it further fuels his hate for humanity.
Yeah, like somebody would like, oh my god, the that sequence of, it's the close up on him and him asking the question like, what was the name of the farm on the house on the hill or something like that. And then cuts to this brother character and he says, well, the only crime I've really committed is just I was your friend.
Yeah.
And then cuts back to him with the most rage you've seen this man ever have.
And I think that's the interesting exploration of religion in this thing, too. When you're specifically Christians, like, they call each other brother and sister, and they really do deem this church a family or the church a family. So I think that's where his anger against the Paul Dano character really stems from, is like,
you don't think it's when he says, I've abandoned my boy? Like, it makes him look like a fool because he actually believed it for a second.
Yeah,
but he already thought Dano's character was a fool. That's why he doesn't entertain him. That's why he doesn't let him pray for the thing. He doesn't let him, I think he sees the church as this waste of time and waste of humanity almost. But at least in the beginning, he plays the game. I think at the beginning, he like, the film very much opens up and, like, not just him digging and like looking at rocks and stuff, but it's him, like, talking to the town. Like, I want to tell you, this is what I think we'll do. Like, he plays the political game.
It's very
and the
much-
more he loses his humanity, the less he gives a fuck.
Yeah.
And
It's
that's
like-
his trajectory. So religion, in a lot of people's eyes, is so fake. And when you don't have family and you mourn and regret the loss of family, a fabricated family just, like, I think brings some anger in you. And I think that's why his hate for Paul Dano is like, fuck you, dude. Like, you're such a piece of shit. At least I'm honest,
No, and then even the fact that, like, he's using the facade of, relinquishing his sin and baptizing him as a way of, like,
financial gain.
No. As a way of, like, I'm going to, like, in that moment that he's getting baptized and he has to say, I abandoned my child, it's like, now I'm going to beat you up and you can't do anything. But it's like, you're just using that as a facade, but that's not real. Like, that's not, you slapping me around and you making me say things that are going to hurt me emotionally is not at all, like, religion taking its effect, but he's using that.
Also, isn't that a great depiction of politics? Of, like, politicians going and saying they support the church and getting, like, backlash from the media or whatever.
It's just a card they
just
do.
to say, like, I want your vote or, like, I want to get my way, so I'll pretend to be a Christian for a day.
Yeah.
It's such a great depiction of what's wrong with the world,
That's, like, the most beautiful part about this fucking film is how close in the beginning politics are to religion. And then, honestly, it's pretty much seeing this businessman who's, like, the greatest businessman in the world turning into a fucking demon, basically, to the point where at the end, like, I'm not a religious person. I have faith, but I don't have religion.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. But I couldn't help but think in the final scene when he's killing the guy, like, yo, this man is literally the devil. He's making the priest. If you put yourself in Paul Dano's shoes, Paul Dano's a priest who's a man of God. So you better say that he's a false prophet, and he makes him fold, and then he goes into this whole entire, like,
But to
the worst
prove,
case
like,
scenario.
you'll do this for money.
Yeah, and then even convincing him, like, your brother was the prophet, not you.
Yeah.
And then it pushes him into that corner too, all the way to the point where you're just beating this guy down to a fucking little dot.
I also think that
Like,
you get-
you
and then
saw
you get
brains,
physical.
yeah.
Yeah,
I also think that scene and that dynamic, specifically on the religion front, where Paul Dano's saying, walking in with a chain and walking in all calm, cool, and collected and saying, I'm visiting my friend, but also saying, like, I've been on the radio. Like, this, like, if you grew up in the church, you understand that, like, a lot of this, like, televangelists and radio evangelists and stuff like that, like, they fucking make money, man. Like they
They
like
do.
like
They
if you
really
go
do.
watch like the Eyes of Tammy Lynn, for instance, or like shit like that, you'll understand that it's him, number one, pretending to be financially okay by wearing this big ass chain and then saying, I'm on the radio, I'm doing well,
He's putting the
amazing things
facade.
are coming.
Yeah.
But he's really just fucking broke. And that's, again, like a lot of the churches like that. A lot of like white people are angered by the churches because of their financial gain, despite the fact like driving around in Ferraris and shit when people are suffering and they claim to help people. There's so much packed into that.
Yeah.
And the final lines, right? The final lines of, I'm done.
I'm finished.
I'm finished. I think that thing is just genuinely, like you say, if he's turned into a demon, what else has he got to lose?
Exactly.
He has no kid. He has no
Exactly.
brother. He has no fucking wife. Like, I'm done with life. Fuck it. If they come for me, I killed this. If the last thing I did was kill this false prophet, fuck it. I'm done with this life anyways.
Well,
like, come
he
get me.
doesn't
reminds
have
you
a
of?
support system. It's out.
Right.
It's like,
Right.
why is
Yeah.
my point of living if I have no one to support me?
Yeah.
Push himself to the point of loneliness.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the scene from The Revenant.
Sure.
Where, oh man,
Tom Hardy?
Tom Hardy's character is saying like, "Yeah, I found God. Turns out he's a squirrel," or like, and then he says, "So once I found him, I shot him and ate him." Like,
Yeah.
But like, it's this kind of
That's hard. as fuck.
destroying all the notions of what people value in society and being like, I'm on top of it all.
Yeah.
And, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
This loss of humanity, but it's also like a loss of like anything having real value.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
this guy like has
He's got it, everything he wants.
yeah,
He's got this huge mansion that he's always
nothing
dreamt
has
of.
value anymore. Like the fact that he
Not even human life.
yeah,
Not even human life. Nothing has value
shoots,
anymore.
He has a gun range where he just kind of shoots inside of his house with a bowling alley. Like
And he probably like held on this long for humanity until his kid left him. Once his kid left him, he's like, fuck it. I really don't have anything or anybody.
He said that he wanted a house and to have enough money for him and his child to like leave
I wanted
society.
children to run away,
It's like
run around in this
the
house.
joke in
yeah.
Spanish. I'm gonna buy the woods for myself, and I'm gonna lose myself in them because I don't want to talk to human anymore. Like
Yeah.
human interaction, you
Yeah.
know?
do you
It's-
feel like
Yeah.
him always like anytime you see him sleeping, he's usually sleeping like on the floor?
Yeah.
Do you feel like that's kind of a nod, or at least it could be an expanded metaphor of like him really just not having home? Like it doesn't matter what
Sure.
building he's in, or
Sure.
even if he makes a cottage for himself, he's never home. There's
I
never
also-
this sense of like peace with him. You
Well,
know?
to support that theory, I think I always took those moments to be like him conditioning himself to harden himself. No comfort
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
Like I'm this is what I like. It's almost like I built this floor, so I will sleep on it, and that's my kid can have the comfort, but like it doesn't matter. And I also think a lot of the subtext comes from his alcoholism, and like most of the time we see him passed out after drinking.
Yeah.
But it's not like deliberately like we see him getting drunk. It's like we see him pull out the flask, and next thing you know, he's on the floor,
Yeah.
or sleeping on the floor, or waking up, and shit like that. But I do think it is a bit of him conditioning himself to like. To not, I mean, he's so hardened. He has a clear goal, and nothing, not even comfort, will get in the way of this clear goal. So everything is in service of that, but to an exaggeration, to a driving himself mad. Which again, that's why I think it adds a little more fuel to the fire of that theory I have of like when he lost his wife. He has nothing else to live for other than his kid, and his motivation is still like making the most amount of money, beating out his competitors. I also find it pretty fascinating that the people he depends on the most, like his close kind of business associates, specifically the guy who like rides on the train with the kid, I felt like he was the guy. He was his number two, and he always seems to be switching number twos. And when his brother's finally his number two, he's the only person we really see him opening up to.
Yeah.
And then that's gone pretty quickly. And it's almost like
It's
he keeps trying to give society a chance or life a chance, and he keeps proving him right.
Yeah.
So he's like, I tried.
I would say the opposite. It seems like every time that he gives society a chance, he finds a reason to try to prove himself right, instead of trying to find a reason that, because, I mean, even using the sun analogy, like, are you really just going to give up on your deaf kid? If you do, that tells you a lot. And if you do have this brother who comes over and who has the intention of a brother and then when he reveals himself to not be your brother, are you really gonna kill the guy? Or are you gonna like
It's a
naturally,
sense,
as
it's
a
a
human
sense of
being,
entitlement.
as a human being,
Justified.
you would ask
Justified.
yourself, yeah, but realistically, you would ask yourself, yes, I got hoed, I got fucked. I can just let it go right now, or I can do something about it.
Yeah.
Most human beings who have a healthy mind are gonna just let it go, let it be a lesson that you learn.
Not
Just say,
healthy.
you know what, I learned it. I'm not gonna fuck up again.
Yes, but his mental health, dude, is like shredding.
Exactly,
Like, shredding,
exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
In the last scene, I was just like, no, this man is gone, dude. Like,
Yeah.
if he's an alcoholic, he lost his son, his business is doing well, he has all the money in the world. What do I do now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
What
it's
are
You have
a
everything externally that you wanted.
Exactly.
And, yeah.
They say like money don't buy happiness,
Yeah.
but it buys you to cover bodies. So.
And a bowling alley.
it's in that genre of like films that talk about like if you had everything in the world, what would you still be missing? Like, you know, recently I just saw with like the Phoenician scheme where
Yeah, that one.
it's this guy who
Yeah.
at the end of the day, like if you had all the money, you had all the worldly possessions, the one thing you can't buy back is like family or a home and all that. Citizen Kane tackles the same
Sure,
topic.
sure.
And this one, it's also there. It's seeing this this self-made loneliness that's just expansive. That he dug his own hole and he has everything, but there's no real way of getting out.
Yeah,
of it, you know?
it's the whole exploration of like it really is lonely at the top. I mean, can you reach the highest of the peaks, but there's only room for one at that peak, you know? And it's really interesting the way
The
just
Devil
the way
Wears
he
Prada.
loses his humanity through this process, but also
The
like
devil world.
that
That's a fucking
lack
good
of
one.
humanity at the end of it of
devil
like
wears
I
oil.
just really don't give a fuck. Like what else do I have to lose? I've already gained everything. It's such an interesting exploration for sure of loneliness for sure, but
I have a theory that Americans just like to hear how much they fucking hate themselves because this seems like the dark side of the American dream.
sure.
You
Yeah,
know?
that's very true.
At the top of the mountain, the whole entire shebang. It's like the
Yeah.
whole greed is good thing in Wall Street as well.
Right.
Yeah, like
I-
you get everything, but at what cost?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
think
exactly.
the cool part that people talk about when it comes to this film too is, and I can't take the credit for this theory, but because it's about, and it's so cool that it's set in the desert because it's your classic, when you think about John Huston or John Ford films of pushing the American frontier, this is very much that. It's pushing the American frontier, but destroying anything in its path. So it's like the kid is the future, right? And you destroyed the future by paving the way, or like destroying the tracks of what used to exist of the American frontier because you got an oil rig that you're building.
Yeah.
I mean, so much so that the title "There Will Be Blood" is biblical. It comes from I didn't realize how biblical you got, but like Exodus 8:2 with Magnolia.
PTA is a Jesus freak.
Yeah.
Yeah, or an anti-Jesus freak. But There Will Be Blood comes from the book of Exodus also, where there's a passage in there that talks about a pillar of smoke and a pillar of fire. What do those sound like? You know? So instead of being so on the nose with it, he's like, there's a different passage in Exodus of there will be blood because these pillars arise, you know? So it's so layered, man.
By the way, what an impactful scene it was when that pillar of fire is going on and his son just went like deaf and there's a real problem and you know
How's
even though
HW?
yeah, it's like
Not good.
But it also shows that like he as a character acknowledges that there's a problem. He's not
Yeah.
unaware, but his focus is
He's not aloof.
Yeah.
Definitely not an aloof character.
Yeah.
He's hyper aware.
It almost felt like in that moment he was telling the other guy like, "Don't ruin this for me."
yeah.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
And like the fact that you
Or
see him
I
like,
don't want to deal with this right now.
Yeah.
yeah.
where it's kind of like, hey, we could focus on that, or we could focus at the fact that there's gas means that there's an ocean beneath us, and
What
we're
do you
gonna be
look
doing-
so sad about? What did he say?
Yeah.
There's an ocean of oil beneath our feet.
I love how the moment that he's excited in that moment and he literally turns and he shakes homeboy, he's silhouetted. He's
Yeah.
fucking
Oh,
literally
no.
drenched
The
in the
fact
dark.
that like he's covered in the filth of his own success. You
Yes.
know, like
Yes.
you're so much more obsessed with like the oil and everything because the guy like in that moment he's dark black covered in oil looking at this fire. And then the guy who's all clean and proper is asking like, well, how about your son? Is your son okay? And then he leaves and he just leaves Daniel there. Again, just
I think that's interesting too because I think of a sense of agency and I think of a sense of entitlement with Daniel's character because I think about the scene immediately after that where he's hugging the kid And the
Yeah.
kid's like dealing with being deaf, like trying to mouth words and just make sounds in hopes that he'll hear himself again. And Daniel's response is like, "All right, that's enough now, HW. Like, shut up."
Damn.
And it's like I think because like you mentioned, it's such a peculiar voice that commands things. He commands oil rigs to be made. He commands men to come from all over the country to learn from him, to build for him, to be there for him. So that voice is very convincing. So it's almost like he's trying to will life to be like, okay, like, or the kid to like, okay, kid, here again.
But
My
also with
voice will make this happen.
With a low sense of panic too, because that's all he could do, right?
That's
Like,
all they could do.
Yeah.
It's a father's thing, right? At that point,
I think also like the scene right after that is when he's sitting at the table with like his number 2 and saying like, oh, well, who do we know in San Francisco and who can come and who can fix this and all that kind of stuff. And then passes him a paper, which looks like a check.
Yeah, it is.
And then, he's like, okay, I'll get
this done.
Yeah, I'll get this done like right away. But it's, again, going back to he lives in a world where he can command things.
Yeah.
And even with people say like, hey, I'm going to build this here and there's nothing you can do about it. And, oh, this guy wants to try to strong arm me. I'm just going to use my businessman mentality and like shove my way to the front.
I identify with that. I identify with that in like
Shoving your way to the front?
kind of a panicky way. Like I don't like identifying with it, but I've been told in my travels that I'm like a guy in the car on a freeway that's jam packed, and I will still find my way through. And that's not I never thought that to be a compliment. I always thought that to be like, oh fuck, like yeah, you kind of you kind of hit a nerve there. And that's what this film's about is like, oh, you think I can't do business with them because you're offering me $1 million? Like, don't tell. And then he makes it personal. Don't tell me how to raise my family. I'll and then he's like over. You never see this guy celebrate anything, but he's celebrating that Union oil deal.
And he rubs it in the guy's face.
Rubs it in their
Rightfully
face. Like,
so.
I made a deal, you know? Man, it's to me, again, that hits a nerve because, you know, I identify with that, but it's also like, shit, how far are you willing to go, man? Like,
Yeah.
are you going to prove a point or not?
This movie hits home in a sense where, like, in my family, we all have fucking ego problems. I have a cousin who was, like, raised from the bottom and worked his way all the way to the top. He prides himself very much on resilience.
He does
and
oil now.
He does. He actually did. Actually, he does oil.
Oh my God.
He's a welder in the oil fields.
Wow.
Damn.
And the whole thing, exactly. Like, he makes really good money, all that kind of stuff. But
Self-made, this whole...
exactly, and that's a narrative that we've all had to accept and all that kind of stuff. But when it comes down to his personal life, he doesn't talk to the grandparents because he can't believe how much they fucking screwed us over.
Yeah.
He rarely talks to me or my brother, and if he does, it's always just friendly insults that are still insults. He doesn't care about, even though all of us have given him a place to live when his parents passed away and stuff like that.
But it's like letting you know, like, hey, I'm successful now, so...
Exactly. It's like, how far are you really going to let your ego go before you can even realize that you're still on Earth? You know?
It's heavy stuff. It's an ugly depiction of humanity, man, but it is very real. It exists.
It's real as
Like,
fuck.
I know,
That's
I'm
the crazy.
gonna bring a demographic, and it's a hot take. It's a really hot take. When the Mexican gets the American dream, they like to drag the other Mexican. It's like,
Yeah,
dude, why
for
do
sure.
you do that? Like,
Yeah.
I've noticed other demographics, they like to help each other. Like, dude, I made it, let me help you. But us
Yeah.
as Latinos, we're so sometimes egoistical. It's like, no, I struggled. You're
So
gonna
you
struggle
gotta do
too.
it now.
You're
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
struggle too. It's
Yeah,
like,
thanks, George Lopez.
dude, yeah, it's sad.
Yeah. No, I made a
Yeah.
joke with a buddy today that we're actually on our way to pick up coffee, and I don't know what this guy said that was making fun of me for not experiencing something super Mexican. And I said something to the effect of like, all right, I said, pinchy fucking Mexican, you know? But that was the joke, right? It's like we're Mexicans like trashing on other Mexicans because, I don't know, you're better than us, or whether you were born over there or born over here, you're not Mexican enough, you're not American enough. And it's very true. It's very, very present.
It is.
That is something
It
that
is.
tackles on our culture like hardcore. We should have a fucking Mexican heritage month.
We
That'd
should.
go hard.
I think so.
I
I
have a
think that might be
movie I've been wanting to do for ages.
Which one?
It's that Boulevard one. I think it's called Boulevard Nights.
Oh, I've heard about this. I
Yeah.
haven't seen it, but I know what you're talking about.
Castro.
Yes.
I feel like when people talk about great acting, they obviously bring up Daniel Day-Lewis as like an like masterclass on acting.
And this cements.
Yeah. What is it about a role like Daniel's that like separates it from any other role? What makes it so like hard to achieve? What did you feel like as an actor that you could really appreciate from the film?
And is this his best performance?
Absolutely his best performance. I was talking about layers, man. Like, what was I saying? I was talking about like everybody wants to act like that, you know, that tough capitalist guy that makes it on his own. But it's those little subtleties where the layers, right? The little like they leak, and that's like
Well, I like that word leak. The cracks of this character.
Or that I was talking about where he's vulnerable, right? Or where
do you feel like the diner scene, the bar diner scene, where like his competitors are having dinner at the table or lunch at the table next to him? The composed businessmen there, right? They're the ones like trying to be the bigger person, and hey, Daniel, they come to say hi, or he come to say hi. He's trying to introduce him to his associates, but the cracks in his persona of like not giving a fuck, like
for sure
break out.
I feel like, how do I put this? I feel like he finally lost it when they told him, you know what you could do with your money? Just go with it and take care of your kid. And I think that's where he's like, you know what? I'm going to get this oil pipeline, going to the union or whatever. And it shows in that scene, right? Because he's a little bit drunk and he sees him walking over and he's like, look at my boy. I got him back.
Yeah.
I still got the deal. I don't need your money. I just feel like that's where you kind of lost it. You lost it all, I guess, there.
That was fucking sad, right? Like, you start to wonder, like, is that... I mean, you either, A, got your kid back to please the church, or B, got your kid back to rub it into your competitor's face that you are taking care of your kid.
Yeah.
And what's more is, like... I mean, like, he's using his kid as, like, a currency. Like, I got everything I wanted, by the way.
It's an accessory.
Yeah.
It's like his little labubu.
It comes from that whole monologue that he has where he says, are you an envious man? And he's asking like his fake brother at the time. And he says, like, ever since I was small, I always looked at people having more and I thought I want to be at the top of the hill. I always want to be better than other people or like better than everybody else. And when anybody like goes and hits either a nerve where he has a weakness in himself or somebody says, oh, but you still don't have that. He wants to go and be like, oh, no, I'm going to be at the top of that hill and get everything. And look, at, like, again, at the very end, it's kind of like it's more important to him to show that he's on top and have this facade than actually be there or actually just be like, happy. Where it's kind of like, hey, how about you go take care of your kids? It's like, no, you're not going to like preach down to me because...
And you can analyze that scene like I think if we analyze it enough, maybe that man was not being condescending. On the business front, you think maybe he's like trying to touch a nerve. But I guess on the surface, he wasn't being offensive. He was just like, go enjoy yourself. Go.
That's
like,
what people do.
I feel like if he would have said, go travel, instead of saying, go take care of your kid, that would have been taken like, okay, yeah, maybe I should go travel. But the fact that he said, just go take care of your kid.
And wasn't this after he abandoned him? That's why he
the scene, and again, that's Paul Thomas Anderson, I think, being a master at knowing how to take emotional tension and draw it into the next scene because, you know, those scenes obviously are very connected. The scene of him, like, leaving his kid there, he's getting emotional, but he's trying to walk it off. Like, it's almost like when you, like, scuff up your knee. You know, you're just trying to, like grin and bear it, walk it off. Just
when he's
don't...
walking away from the train and he's in the background.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, just don't focus on it. Just, like, kind of, fight through the pain. And then immediately after, it's like, so how's your boy? But even though that scene probably took place like days later, weeks later, something like that, it's trying to show that, all that tension is still pent up within him.
Yeah, it's like
this just
he's
occurred
carrying
to
that
me.
guilt with him, and it's like reminding him, like, hey, you have something carrying in your back. Something's. How's your kid? And it's like, boom. That's where
It just occurred to me too that the kid is naturally going through his frustrations of being newly deaf, and it didn't occur to me till now that I think when I was processing the scene where he lights the house on fire, I thought that was him dealing with like his frustration.
Yeah, 100% retaliating.
But now I'm thinking it's him dealing with his frustration of being replaced.
Yeah,
by the brother.
He sees it already?
I think he sees it already. I think, because he's like the partner. He's always accredited as a partner. He's given importance. He's given, like, even when you see this kid walking around with the girl, he's like, well, how much money do we make? No. Like, he's a smart kid.
I wanted to ask, how old is he? Because I was thinking like that.
He must be 10. I don't know. 10,
Who's
11 years
thinking
old.
math
Exactly, but how he's programmed because of Daniel.
True.
So I think him leading up to like not just loss of his hearing and that natural kid frustration of not knowing why this is happening or what to do, but I think like the brother, like the path of fire leads to the brother.
That is true.
You know, I think it's a lot more of
Good
like
catch.
he's number 2 now.
Yeah, that's definitely tough.
That's powerful. That's so powerful for a kid to be that
It is
frustrated.
But it's because what the dad put that mentality on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The way he was raising him. That's his fault. You know, like
Yeah.
Can you clear up a little bit about the kid? Like, I know the kid, obviously, we reveal that he's adopted, but obviously.
Wow, man, is he just trying to hurt him?
Exactly, right? Like, I'm with
That
Meg. I was
scene-
trying to understand the relationship. Like, obviously, using it as a tool, as the pretty face to make.
a la boo boo.
But some scenes, well, most of the scenes, you could tell, like, he really loves this kid.
Yeah.
And that's what the film wants you to do. It wants you to have that question. And I remember having it at the theater of like, is it true what he's saying that he just used the kid as a pretty face, or did he really love this kid and it's eating him inside?
What salvages that moment? Yeah, that little montage.
Yeah,
bit,
right
the little
after
film.
he says that, and then the kid walks away and says, just bastard in a basket. Then it cuts to a moment where in the past,
flashback.
a flashback where the kid like took his hat and was there like playing around at
It
a
was,
campfire.
it was a whole old like an old family home movie. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
what
that's
it
how-
was shot with.
yeah.
But if you dig deeper, it's like the Jack Nicholson thing with Matt Damon. If you keep the camera rolling, you guys haven't heard that story?
Yeah, I love that story.
But if you look closer, they're also playing around in public. There's a bunch of people surrounding them. They're
Around
like
them,
in the
they're-
middle of a picnic or
Yeah.
middle of like a
Campfire.
family or a town event thing, like or in the mess hall. Or like there's a bunch of tables. There's people around. So again, is that a facade or is that like the last bit of humanity leaving Daniel? Like it's to me, it almost feels like on the surface, it feels like that film strip, that family movie is burning,
love
and he's
that.
never getting that back, or is it like this was a facade?
And he cared about him and so much. Like, if he were to be like a different dad, he'd be like, okay, don't be like lovey-dovey in front of me.
Yeah.
Like, that's my ego. But he loved that kid so much that he'll play in front of like his business partners.
Yeah.
And again,
Like-
it really does want you to like ask the question if that's real or not, because when you see the kid introduced later on, or no, at the very beginning of the film, when he's having those meetings saying, "Hey, I've been all over the country and I run a family business and my
This
family's
is my
right
boy.
there.
He's
right,
my partner."
it's
Oh,
my
yeah.
boy."
HW.
Like those moments, it's super easy to like convince the audience and everybody, "Oh, okay, he got this kid, but now he's found out a way to basically drill profit out of him, which is saying, oh, I'm supporting my only family, which is this kid." But then later on, the relationship gets more dynamic. You also see the whole quail farming moment as like he sees that this kid's like
It's a
sharp
sham.
and no. Like when they're on the hill and the kid's like asking questions like, "Oh, well, what are you going to do with this?" And he's like, "Oh, we're not going to pay him oil prices. We'll pay him
Quail
quail
prices."
But it's like he's treating him as a
peer.
intellectual peer. But
not
then
as
later
his
on,
son.
that all changes. you know?
Yeah, of course. He's a peer until he's not useful to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? But it also begs the question. He could have kept leaning into that skid. He kept, my
Yeah.
deaf son, I need money for my deaf son.
Yeah.
He
That's why-
doesn't do that. He tries to accept this and get him help. And I mean, he doesn't deal with it. It's like the equivalent of sending a kid to boarding school, right? Like just sends him off and let somebody else deal with it for however long.
Kind of like this tool doesn't work.
And what
so
made me
it's-
Yeah.
so sad is like you love this kid that you weren't willing to learn sign language for him. That is
Yeah.
so sad.
Not just that, but you also
fun.
realize that, I mean, the kid went into the same business.
Exactly.
Regardless, he taught him
Yeah.
his ways. Regardless, the kid kind of did. I think that's such an interesting line, too, is like he says, I'm glad I have nothing in you, nothing of you in me. But
Just walks
he
away.
kind of does. You know, he's building his own oil rigs. He's building, you know what I mean? Like he's following right in the footsteps of his dad.
And even tells him, "I
and
love it 'cause of you."
maybe Daniel is just trying to fuel what he has. Well, if I tell this kid that he's worthless and I send him off into the world, he'll be just like me and he'll succeed.
You think at that point in his life, like that he's about to die, you think he still has that? Like to leave that towards him, even though he's a bastard child?
I think a lot of
if it
people
was
do
blood-
that. I think a lot of parents and dads like specifically have that tough love aspect. Like this is going to harden him.
But even if it's not his real kid,
I don't think that's the case. I think he's just being mean. I think he's just hurt.
What do you guys think?
I don't think he's
I
adopted.
really believed him.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I think
What do
he
you
is
mean?
adopted, but
You think he's adopted?
I do agree with your point as well. But I feel like he doesn't even know that he's doing that in a sense. But I feel like externally the kid and the dad are the same. You know, he's making his own tycoon empire and all that kind of stuff. But internally, they're both completely different. Because even when Daniel is saying all his nasty shit to the son, yeah, it's through sign language, but he almost doesn't even react to it. He just gets up, stone face, and walks away. When Daniel, on the other point, would literally kill somebody for thinking
Comments
about
like
something.
that.
Yeah, for sure. But at the end of the day, you know, even if this kid is adopted, I still don't think that. I think you're just like, when you're hurt, you want to hurt the person you love.
I can see that.
But I think even if he let's say he is adopted, he still came to care for the kid. He still came to love the kid. So that still hurts him. Like, hell. I also
That's
think,
why I
like,
doubt
think
it.
about it. We saw almost like the humanity really, really leave him when he cried for his brother who he never met. You know?
Yeah, seeing the picture of like a younger brother.
That he could have grown up with. That he could have had somebody with.
He could have had family, and then it's like, no,
A
he's...
support
And think
system.
about it. He clearly, when the brother at first brings up the sister, that you talk to her, like, he knows her. He's clearly, but she's a woman. You know, like, I think that's also part of it is like, oh, you talked to whatever her name was.
This whole story feels like the concept of sympathy for the devil.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah.
Even just that song.
Yeah.
I mean, you listen to it and it sounds like the Daniel Plainview, you know?
Yeah.
Also,
so layered.
something we didn't talk about too much, but the score in this thing's amazing.
Johnny
all
Greenwood.
all very industrial, all very like on par with the emotional tensions of like this like pounding or thumping or like the level of like madness building in on
Tension.
itself.
Johnny Greenwood, who, you know, very close collaborator to Paul. Is it 9 Inch Nails or Radiohead? Radiohead, right?
9 Inch Nails is David Fincher, I believe. So this might be Radiohead.
Johnny Greenwood, though, he's in Radiohead. No, that's where he's.
Yeah,
Maybe because
I
he
think
did
so.
Anima.
9 Inch Nails is
Tom
Trent
York.
Reznor.
Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. But yeah, I think Johnny Greenwood comes from Radiohead. But he's Radiohead. So that's how the Tom York thing happened. Like, Tim and Johnny Greenwood have been working together forever. And then Tom York kind of came into play later.
Johnny Greenwood worked on. I actually found this out recently. He worked on some songs off of Blonde. Frank Ocean.
Yeah. No, I mean,
wow.
ever since he started working with PTA, he delved into the film world.
Yeah.
The scary part is that it
did
was
them-
threatened this year because he had like a heart attack.
Really?
And they were all like, PTA was like, he's supposed to score one battle. Like, we're scared for him. Right?
Dude.
He did score one battle. Yeah. No, he's alive, by the way. Like, he made it out.
Did he do The Master? Or
I
was
think
that-
so.
yeah.
I think he's done every PTA film since There Will Be
That
Blood.
was yeah. Fuck yeah.
So Johnny Greenwood is again. He's been this close collaborator to PTA. The crazy part about the score for There Will Be Blood is, though he did make a lot of music for it, he also borrowed from his own songs, and therefore that's why it wasn't nominated for an Academy Award, because it wasn't an original piece of music. He basically got from his own previous tracks to use them in the film.
For There Will Be Blood?
For There Will Be Blood, and it's not a lot. I think it was like 2 tracks. But that was enough for the Academy. Like, this was a favorite. This score that year, fucking everybody loved. But the Academy was like, it's not original, dude. Like, you just stole from your old album, so we can't really use it.
And you know what I liked?
You invented it, but it's not original.
Yeah.
I was asking myself that.
What?
Well, it's not originally
For the
made
film.
for
For
the
the film.
original.
Yeah.
Because like whenever the
He also used, like, if I'm not mistaken, that last piece of music's not his. It's like an original classic composer. There is a couple classical pieces here that aren't Johnny Greenwood. So it is a bit of a mix and match. But to my knowledge, this is also Johnny Greenwood's first film. So
Wow.
fucking
Nailed it.
kudos to
It
Johnny
felt
Greenwood.
so good that I felt like I was like listening to like a horror score.
Well, look,
Like, you get me?
I think a
Like,
lot of
it's
this
like,
comes from,
oh.
and TK, you know this and you appreciate this, and Meg, I think, like, your love for this, or like your exploration of the music, and it feels like this
Yeah.
dark classical composer. He used a lot of Kubrick in this. PTA used a lot of Kubrick in this.
Dude, that's why Kubrick is the god, dude.
Yeah.
PTA,
The goat.
He used.
Tarantino, everybody.
Think about the opening
Agreed.
scenes of There Will Be Blood. The opening scenes are landscapes, mountains. What do you see in The Shining?
What do you see in 2001?
The opening of The Shining, right?
Space.
When they're driving to the hotel.
Mountains,
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
hotel,
it's setting up the
setting up the
stage for
world
it,
a
yeah.
little bit, right?
Yeah, if you listen to like the score of the first time Jack goes mad in The Shining, and then they show him in the room, like when he has that like glaze over his
Yeah.
face, it's a similar like tone and everything because it felt so familiar and eerie. That opening score when he's like working on the rig and falls
Yeah,
down,
yeah,
like
yeah.
all that felt
It does. It
Yeah,
does.
reminiscent.
Dude, it felt...
PTA wanted to the bowling alley.
Yeah.
Originally, he did it. Originally, he painted the bowling alley, that whole room, white, entirely white, because he wanted to be reminiscent of Clockwork Orange.
That would've been interesting.
He wanted this classical piece over this white room, like Clockwork Orange, like 2001: A Space Odyssey. He was going to Kubrick it up, and then he realized where they shot the film, where they shot the mansion stuff. The mansion and the room specifically was built by the guy he's based on in real life. So like Daniel's character is based on a real like surveyor of land and oil guy.
Jerry Jones.
Not Jerry Jones, but I forget his name. I'm sure we can find his name somewhere. But the book Oil, which this film is based on, that guy Edmund something Edmund. He built this mansion for his kid, for his only son.
Nice.
And that mansion has like stood the test of time. So that's in California somewhere. So they shot in the mansion. That was
Wow.
Daniel's mansion. And so that's why he restored it to like the bowling alley. He restored it to its original. Like, I want to do the
choice.
Kubrick thing, but fuck it. This is right
Yeah,
for
that's
this.
good
So
to-
we're going to keep it this
Wow.
way. But he was going to Kubrick it up, man. He was going to Kubrick the hell out of it. So I think the score plays into that.
I'm pretty sure I'm
The
not-
score, specifically Clockwork Orange, the score, like the juxtaposition of classical music for such like horrendous scenes.
Yeah.
That's so Kubrickian. Like, there's no way in hell.
Nailed it.
that
I
isn't-
love in the opening like first 5 minutes of it when he strikes gold on his own or when he strikes oil on his own. There's no fucking la-di-da magical score. No, it's a fucking
Horror
like,
movie.
It's a horror movie.
Yeah.
It's a horror movie. It's
Like
fucking
a
sick.
heartbeat is like
It's like the first development of a villain.
Exactly.
Also-
it's like the fucking
Yes.
gates of hell open.
Yeah.
To go into a little bit of the cinematography. If I could bring you.
I got you.
Those moments at the beginning when it was like very horror film esque,
Yeah.
that the decision to make everything super sharp and us being able to see the landscape, how far it is away from like any civilization
Yeah.
was amazing. And then I feel like a lot of the times I would see these like intimate moments where it's super shallow. It was so cool to see that it's isolating all the interactions
Yeah.
that he has, that it knew how to play with space. And I've seen that in PTA's work so far. He knows how to play with space.
Yeah.
When it needs to feel big and expansive, he knows how to open that up. And when it needs to feel closed in, it does that
That's
too.
why I pointed out while we were watching it, that scene where they're quail hunting and they approach, what's the name of the dad?
Fucking
Eli's dad?
Something Sunday.
So yeah.
Mr.
Well,
Sunday.
Mr.
Mr.
Sunday.
Sunday, yeah.
When they explore, when they discover Mr. Sunday's property, quote unquote, and we're just camping and we're just, we're hunting for quail. That whole situation is a wonder.
They
And
have
it's
a lot
wide-
of those. They have a lot of those wonders that
incredible wonders. But this one specifically, they arrive to the land. We're staying on them entirely, but it almost shows. It's almost like that thing, like those Ford commercials, where they tell the kid, like, as far like Simba in Lion King, like as far as the eye can see, this is all yours, son. That's what this felt like. Like, kid,
Yeah.
we're arriving. This is ours. Start taking inventory. This is ours. But you can't do that with coverage. You set this up to be like, we're arriving, we're gonna see the land, we're gonna see them in the land and arriving to the land, and basically taking advantage of this poor farm family and how quick this poor farm family are like willing to, like, you want some milk, we got some milk, you want potatoes, we got you, what do you need, like, we'll bring wood, we'll do, like, they're willing to cater to this, just like these people, like they're good people, they have good hearts.
Yeah, their
Right.
humanity. And
You know-
he's like the devil arriving to their.
Yeah.
Just the
To the-
devil like
yeah.
starting to really like take over their land, but you
Exactly.
can't see the takeover if you can't see the land, how vast this is, how much, what's at stake. And these wide shots, these wide oneers are super impressive, and they're brave. They're brave
love 'em.
because any filmmaker, any novice filmmaker won't take those chances. They'll play it safe. They'll get the emotion of either interaction. They'll get the coverage, the over the shoulders. No, we're gonna show you what's at stake. We're gonna show you these people. How do you say? What's the word? Conquistando.
Conquer. To
Conquer a land. We're gonna see these people conquer the land. Oh God, those wonders get me, man. Those wonders are so powerful because it's also not what I hated about Boogie Nights. What I loved and hated about Boogie Nights. They weren't Scorsese wonders. They were PTA wonders, man.
I feel
they
like
were
PTA wonders really focus in on that performance.
Yeah.
That I mean, like we need to be able to just see Daniel Day-Lewis have these interactions uncut, unfiltered, where you really see how he's working.
Yeah.
And the amount of wonders
like
that are
no
in this
bullshit.
film,
This is who this guy
and
is.
That's how he was. Like even when he was talking like with his brother at the beginning, it's like I don't want you to talk in these vague terms. If you want something, tell me. So at least then I know what you want. And it's this very clear
cuts
cut.
can bullshit you.
Yeah,
Cuts can bullshit you. Cuts can manipulate the conversation, but wonders can't.
yeah.
You know?
A wonder, especially the wonders like that, where we hear the dialogue, but we're not too close to really be in that moment. We're just close enough to be able to see what's going on
The
in the
transaction.
scene. Yeah. It's kind of like, okay, son, anyway, go get the milk or whatever the hell they're offering us. And let me just keep talking to this guy. Okay, you got this? Yeah, we're just quail farming. Don't worry about us. We're just quail hunters.
The way
And
they
We'll help you build your
emphasize
tent. No, we came out on this camping trip
Yeah,
and we'll
no,
do no dinner and we'll like.
yeah, it's like, oh, what about a fire? It's like, no, I'm going to teach my boy while we're hunting quail. You know, it's just, it's interesting. But
so
again,
great.
I
And the
feel-
cinematography paints. It's like
It's
seeing
gorgeous.
old historical pictures
Do you know-
of lands getting conquered.
yeah, like,
You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
seeing the Indians and the settlers. Like it's that's what these wides feel like, man. It's painting a picture in a very beautiful way.
to me, it reminds me a lot of like, I don't know if you know the photographer Ansel Adams.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
very
yeah.
famous. But his work of showing the vastness and how large these landscapes were, it was a lot of that.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, even when you think of a person looking at the vastness of like 600 acres
Yeah.
and understanding it and being like, yeah, we're just going to build this here and build that there, and this is going to all work out. And I don't think anybody could really comprehend how grand of a scale this
Sure.
guy's talking, especially for those times where, you know, you go bit by bit and you're surveying the land and you get every single little like hill and dip. And this guy can see all that, you know?
It's very impressive.
The control that he has.
I couldn't
you know?
help but think about the final scene of like Apocalypto. You know,
Yeah, when the
when the
fucking
ships
boats come.
arrive.
Yeah.
You know, and again, these people are like, these people are here. What are they about? What can we do for them? What can they do for us? Almost, but you know, it's the beginning of their downfall. And I guess I think in terms of history, right? Like when you study history, you pay close attention to these beautiful images that you're thought are like these grand depictions of like an old priest who was documenting all of this history back in Columbus's day. And when you're growing up and don't know any better, you're like, whoa, this is America. This is the new frontier. And then you start paying closer attention and you read like Howard Zinn's history, people's history of the United States. You start realizing like, no, this is some bullshit. These priests were basically documenting this for help, like,
Shit.
you know, sending this out. So you pay closer to attention. Like from one perspective, it's from the farmers. It's like, oh, new land, new opportunity, buildings and money and schools. But we're getting the perspective of Daniel's, you know, of the conquering, not the conquered.
Yeah.
Oh God, man, it paints a different picture, and the cinematography. It allows you to survey the land with him. It allows you to not get emotional until he's like in his home, or until he's talking to somebody who he really deems close, and it encroaches only in like those close like brother conversations or close son conversations. Even when he's in business transactions or mediums, we're not fully close on Daniel.
True.
We're not that intimate. We're intimate enough for you to make my money.
The only time we were really close with him during interactions was any time that he was having interactions with Eli. And that was so interesting. That's what I noticed on this viewing is how annoying Eli's coverage was. But I feel like that's just because that character was always this thorn in his side where it's like, hey, I could get things done. I could just be a good like businessman. I'll keep running this place, buying land, move on to the next thing. And I already know my destination. Let me just get there. But then I'd always have these little roadblocks of like,
Yeah.
okay, we need to make you the pray over our like building before we get started, or like, oh, I got to go attend your rinky-dink church where you're obviously brainwashing people. Like,
I think what's really cool is if you deem Eli any spiritual guide, or let's go that far, the depiction of God.
Yeah.
And if Daniel's the depiction of the devil, and I mean, Daniel didn't really win by killing Eli. He just got done. He just got fed up and done. But if you depict or explore this as a battle between good and evil, none of them were good and none of them were evil, or all of them were everything. You know, there's no in between, and it's pretty spectacular. Like, thorn on its side, but
you also see that Eli was very much doing the exact same thing that Daniel was doing. It's just in a different industry.
Absolutely.
You know? The fact that it's kind of like, oh, you start with these small projects, and like at first his church was really just his family, and then that builds into a small congregation, which builds into a full church, and then he says, well, I'm going into radio, and it's like he's cultivating not the land of like actual land, but he's cultivating the land of people, you know, building numbers, growing his following, so that way it can all come back to him.
Absolutely.
You know, even the whole thing that the whole concept of planning a church in a town where it's a place that's supposed to be sacred and protected.
Why
and
didn't he plant
untaxed.
that church before?
Yeah. Like, but, and then also being like, then you see his true colors, where it was always this thing about money, where it's kind of like, hey, remember you owe us 5,000. You know, normally it's like once a church is built, like, why do you care?
Yeah,
like your church was built, it's in the center of the street. You have everything you need. Why are you so concerned? It's like, oh no, now I want the church money with interest. You know, it's kind of like, why is God so, you know, like concerned with that? Also, that scene at the end where it's like, no, I need you to denounce everything, you know, say that you're full of bullshit.
And he did it for money.
Yeah, exactly. Like the second he says, oh, okay, yeah, I'll give you 100,000. And, you know, you're right. It is like, it should be 5,000.
It's only fair.
Yeah, it's
only
like,
fair.
Anyway, so I'm a false prophet. And, you know,
It's so great.
what a fucking sellout.
There will be blood, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
Do you
I
guys
think I'm
have
going to go
any-
down.
Yeah, from a 10.
Yeah, to a 10-er.
10-er.
Nah, I'm staying at a 10.
Yeah.
You can stay at 9.5.
I'm still at 9.5. I think
It's okay to be wrong.
Yeah, it's okay to be wrong. No, I just, you know, if we compare it to those standards that you say of like what is it missing?
Yeah,
It's just,
I love that.
It's just
Preference?
it's just preference. I mean, I think ultimately it's just preference. It doesn't. I think There Will Be Blood hits me in a different way, in an introspective, like humanity way. But I also like exploring other notes of humanity, and I think that's all it's missing for me. But it's regardless a phenomenal film. I think Paul's best. Certainly not my favorite, but you see, when he explored what he explored in Licorice Pizza, those are the things of humanity I like to explore. So 9.5. I'm still happy at a 9.5.
I'd probably stay at a 9.4.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Daniel Day-Lewis's character in this one. I got to go back and watch it again because this is the type of acting when you see and you're like, oh, I need to put in some work, because that is just a masterclass.
Fun fact.
Oh, you were going to mention something about the kid.
I was. Fun fact about the kid. The kid, as Austin duly pointed out while we were watching the film, it's the only thing he's ever done film-wise. This kid was not an actor. This kid was a kid in Marfa that Paul found.
Oh, shit.
And
Ay, no es cierto.
no, he was,
Are you
well, kind of.
serious?
I mean, like,
He adopted him.
what basically happened was he, like, you know, they
Left
were
him on a
looking for
train.
this kid. They looked through the locals. This kid was one of them. They went to his mom, and she's like, he's going to be acting with Daniel Day-Lewis. You don't understand. This is a big deal. Like, I want this kid. And PTA's mistake was PTA sent his mom, like, okay, I'll show you the last film. I'm going to show you Gangs in New York. Sent the mom a print of Gangs in New York, or like a Blu-ray of Gangs in New York. The mom sees Gangs in New York and sees, my kid's going to be acting with that fucking monster? No, thank you. We're good.
What?
And immediately after, casting department was like, Paul, step aside. Here's a print of the Age of Innocence. This is the nice guy
That's what we're
that
going
your
with.
kid's going to be working with. And then they let the kid be in the film. After that, he never acted again. So that's where they found the kid.
I thought it was going to be one of those the mom took all the kids' money situation.
Maybe. I don't know.
No, this isn't
Hollywood.
Magnolia.
Magnolia. No, but yeah, so the fun fact about the kid, that's where that kid came from. And pretty phenomenal actor for...
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Honestly, it's pretty
He
good.
Solid.
did. I think it was just a very genuine performance,
Yeah.
but I mean that also goes into the directing. Like, I mean,
Sure.
getting any type of performance from like a child or an animal is so hard. So when you see
Yeah.
people do it correctly, or they know how to cultivate just these moments from them, like I heard one recently. That when they were directing Boba Fett in the first Star Wars movie, the number 1,
He wasn't in number 1.
which is the one where Obi-Wan and Anakin go. Is it number 2, Clone Wars?
3.
3. It was 3. That's where they interact with Boba Fett, right? The kid.
2.
2.
Number 2, my lord.
Okay. When they interact with him, apparently George Lucas was having a big issue with like trying to get that kid to like act correctly because he says you're gonna be dealing with these people. They're saying that they're Jedis, and you know George Lucas just talks in these very big like story terms. So he's like, okay, you're part of like a business that is trying to see what the angle of they're doing and all that kind of stuff, and explain it to a kid. And he's like, no, you gotta look more suspicious. Like you're suspicious. And then the kid was like he didn't know how to act and how to motivate. And
But I think that's why sometimes a non-actor.
well, then what happened is
best.
that Ewan McGregor said, like, you know, because they were trying to explain to the kid, like, be suspicious, like you're suspicious of me, and he's like, I want you to do this. He's like, for the next take, pretend that I just ripped a massive fart and nobody noticed it except you.
That's good.
And then like that next take, you know, the kid's like, you know, and that was exactly what they needed for the scene. But it's kind of like knowing how to like take a non-actor or child
Yeah, how to
actor
get down to
and,
their
and
level
how
and-
to
Inarritu's a god at that.
manipulate the role so that way you can get exactly what you need. And something like this, the kid played it perfect. You know, whatever Paul said to him, whatever he said, like, oh, I need you to be quiet in these moments. I need you to just like stare. I need you, I think it you connect with it because there were moments where I felt like, oh, you really see this guy as like your dad, and that's why you're happy to be a part of his work. Even the moments where
You're
he's
happy
like,
to feel important.
yeah, exactly. Like anytime he was like the very beginning where he's like, hey dad, I found this. And then they go to like the well and he's like, oh, okay, yeah, it's oil. It's good. And, you know, he felt connected in the moment till later on is punching the guy and like, screw you. And doesn't care if he's your father or not.
Such a good moment. I will say to some people who complained, some people in this room who complained,
You know,
this was the first time Paul didn't bring back any of his previous actors.
And what a great movie it came out. We all agree, right? It's one of his best.
No.
If not
Bring
his
back,
best.
He has like his
banger.
signature actors.
yeah.
Well, you know, Boogie Nights and Magnolia had, or I guess also from Heart 8.
See, Riley
you know.
was in this.
Yeah, it's
No,
like
he
Tim
wasn't.
Burton.
Yeah, he was.
Where?
In the church.
You didn't
just
see Philip
care.
Seymour Hoffman in there?
No.
Oh, yeah, he was
Oh,
there.
Fun fact.
Philip was supposed to play it.
He wrote There Will Be Blood with Daniel Day-Lewis in mind. He wrote this part for him. And he says that if it wasn't like if Daniel would have not accepted a part, he wouldn't have done the film. But there's another role. I forget if it's the second or the competitor, Philip Seymour Hoffman. He was going to ask him to do it.
Fuck yeah.
But he decided against it to stray away from his previous actors.
It's because you got to give it a little bit of a...
Yeah,
breathing
breathing.
room.
But he also wasn't available. PTA,
Nice.
Philip Seymour Hoffman was on some other film. Which one? H.M. Tilford. Which one's Tilford? Oh, the competitor. The competitor, the one that offers him the $1 million.
Oh, really?
That's who Philip Seymour Hoffman was going to
Yo,
play.
that would have
Oh,
been fucking sick. Oh my god.
But
that
it would have been
so golden.
like taken away a little bit. No, it would have made that person more important.
Imagine that
See,
would have
now
been
he's
that
going around.
one more film of Philip Seymour Hoffman. Hold up, I gotta show the camera this because I just changed my background.
It's Philip Seymour Hoffman.
It is. I'm sure of it.
White
hold on.
chocolate.
I got rid of it.
I like how
'cause-
he has to change his background right now so he can prove a point.
Hold on, guys.
No.
Hold
It's
on.
because I
Big
changed
fan.
my background like in specific situations. I'm gonna show the camera.
Aw.
This is what I got now.
A black screen.
No, he showed it. It was Philip Seymour Hoffman.
It's Philip Seymour Hoffman, dude. In
Nice.
the master right there.
Yeah.
That's our
Nice.
fucking Lord
In the
and Savior,
master.
guys. That's our Lord and Savior right
But
there.
Kick this guy in the nuts.
There Will Be Blood. Just a terrific picture. Just go check it out. I mean, I think it's a staple. I think it's his masterpiece, and the rewatchability to like Astro's point in previous films, it's just incredible. You can watch this film
Absolutely.
over and over again, pick something else up.
Do you
from
change
it.
your rating?
No.
No, you're at a 9.5,
It's really,
9.4.
It's a fucking banger.
Okay, why is he like that?
Yeah.
Like, ¿cuál es el chisme? Like,
Yeah.
what happened to his wife? We never got the answer.
Sure.
What is-
UCK?
yeah.
And any rating changes?
Brother, I never had a chance to even establish a rating.
Oh, shit. We skipped you?
Next week on the Watchtower
What do you
podcast,
get? What do you
we
give
are
it?
doing one.
I would have given it a 10 in the beginning. and I would still give it a 10.
Nice.
I think it's fucking phenomenal.
Two dimes
but not
on
an
this
11.
rating,
Banger.
But not
Absolute
an
banger.
11. But not an 11.
but not an
I would
11.
give it a 9 and an 11.
Next week,
It's 21.
very exciting thing that we could actually properly announce, so you guys can actually like be excited for it.
Yeah, boy. I'm gonna go for a walk.
This episode airs. This is our last attempt to invite you out to the El Paso Film Festival
You need to
this
come,
week.
guys.
This week, come out to the El Paso Film Festival. Kevin Smith, opening night. Lloyd Kaufman, opening night. And then we have films like Due West and films like Burt and films
Come
like
on.
Toxic
Burt.
Avenger.
000.
Come
Double
on.
O Zero premiering at the El Paso Film Festival. A Tower Productions premiere at El Paso Film Festival. We have some other local films coming out that are incredible too, so come check it out.
I worked on Crawford. That's also good.
Crawford, Carpe
Came out in
Republic.
Carpe.
I mean, like a bunch of really cool local shorts. And we're also going to be on some panels. So the panels are going to be super cool. Come to the Creating Ways
yeah?
conference. Huh?
I am?
Yeah, absolutely, buddy.
You bring that hair with you, boy.
Also, come out. You'll make good communications,
Yes.
good connections with people.
Great
You'll get
networking
to know
opportunities.
More people. If you're looking for new friends that are in the film scene,
Yeah.
please.
This Friday, if you're a student, there's discounts for badges. There's the tickets. Individual tickets are $20 for like Kevin Smith, $10 for like the shorts blocks. Super cheap.
Yes.
You're not gonna find cheaper prices out there. I promise you.
Yeah, if you want to connect with real filmmakers and
Yeah.
also people who are trying to make a difference in our industry locally,
Or if you just love movies or need friends.
If you
Yeah,
just want
come
to
check
have
it
a
out.
good
If you
just
time,
don't wanna
This
be
it's a
lonely
good
anymore.
Thursday through Saturday, El Paso Film Festival. Last chance. Go grab your tickets. Go grab your badges. I swear, like 100 more seats went today. Like at the time of this recording, 100 more seats went today. So it's gonna fill up, and we are closing at a capacity. So just send it out. Also, we can announce proudly, you're going to get a Tower Productions exclusive. We're going to talk about one battle after another before it comes out. So we have the privilege.
Wait, no, so that means the film festival's next week.
No, it's this week. It's the same week as one battle
But by the time of the release.
Yeah.
of the
When this
release.
re-
Of
Yeah.
the release.
Yes, this comes out before the one battle episode.
It does.
After?
Oh, you're right. I thought it was the week of. You're right. Next week, El Paso Film Festival. But yeah, the one battle after another. We thank you to Warner Brothers. We're going to be able to screen this film early in El Paso downtown. So it's going to be super cool. We'll let you know what we think. We'll be pretty candid and honest, despite the fact that we got to be a part of this set. Not only are we going to like talk about the film genuinely.
Did I come out in the credits?
I don't know. I guess we'll find. Did any of us come out in the credits? Did my wife and I come out in the extra scenes? Because we were extras too. So just a lot of cool stuff to find out. And we're lining up a special guest as well who worked on the film, had a huge role in the film. And
his name is Michael De La.
Guilty.
but we are going to tell.
Show me your penis.
Jeez. We are going to tell like exclusive stories that we've been holding on to for like a year and a half.
Yeah.
Almost two.
Or closer
fucking
to 2 years of just like cool experiences that we had with the master himself, the Paul Thomas Anderson and his crew.
Yeah,
and how
we've
lovely
been-
they were to El Paso and to us.
We
and,
can't wait to like unzip these secrets and really
Yeah,
whip it
we've
out
been
on
waiting. We've been waiting.
Audience.
And we didn't sign an NDA. We just have been trying to be respectful of the film
Yeah.
and the release. So
Two of us signed an NDA.
You're
I did
right.
sign
Two
an
of you
NDA.
did sign an NDA. Well, we did of the set, but we were before the set.
I
so
didn't
we-
sign
we didn't.
shit.
I didn't sign shit either.
Damn.
I was just supporting.
Anyways, we're gonna talk genuinely, like talk about it here because we have a podcast where we talk about this kind of stuff. So we're excited to tell you our stories of the PTA set in El Paso.
Yeah, how was Crafty?
And how Austin locked eyes with Leo and almost made
How
love.
was location? apart?
Bob?
So much stuff to talk about. We have a lot of great stories. So stay tuned for one battle after another. We're going to let you know our thoughts so you can either
Yes.
go see it or not see it that
Obviously, go see it.
Obviously.
week. Yeah.
Regardless of your opinions
Yeah.
on PTA and everything, go see it.
Yeah,
in
go see it
theaters.
in the theaters.
The biggest screen you can.
In El Paso, that's IMAX at Bassett. You can go watch it in IMAX. It will. They already put the posters up. I don't know if you guys saw. They put the posters up at Bassett. So go check it out.
Or the big show at Alamo.
Or the big show at Alamo.
Yeah.
Go see it in the biggest
The
screen you can.
show.
One battle after another. We'll talk about the making of too, what we experienced, and then we'll close out our PTA month with a mystery film because I guess CK hasn't quite picked, or I don't know.
Oh, I know exactly what I want. Just blue balling you guys.
Is that why he went dark? Because he's so
mystery.
mysterious?
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh yeah, I know. I feel like I need to like fucking do one of these James.
No,
Deans.
no,
Yeah.
please.
Bilal,
That's all
did
true, folks.
you just touch my ass?
No,
Austin, is physically impossible for me to
I
touch.
know. You got your chicks over there.
Yeah,
dirty
little birdie. So next week, we'll let you know what we're watching for the final week. I don't know. Thank you for tuning into the Watch Our Film podcast. Good night.
everybody. Castro, quick. Daniel impression, go.
I've abandoned my boy.
Bilal, your turn. Go.
Me and my boy were just hunting some quail.
Carlos, go.
But if you have a milkshake and I have a milkshake, and we have a straw, you see a straw, and I go and I drink your milkshake all the way over there. Thank you for tuning into the Watch Our Film
Good night,
podcast.
everybody.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen.